Have you ever wondered what would happen if the sun disappeared tomorrow? An intriguing question indeed. Our sun, a ball of hot glowing gases, is the heart of our solar system. It's the gravitational force that holds everything together, from the smallest dust particle to the largest planet. It's the life-giving energy source that allows Earth to sustain life. Now, let's delve into the importance of the sun. It's the powerhouse of our planet, providing us with warmth and light. It's the engine that drives the water cycle, and it plays a key role in photosynthesis, the process that allows plants to grow and produce oxygen. The sun's influence reaches far beyond our planet, shaping the entire solar system. It's a fulcrum around which all the planets revolve, creating a delicate balance that allows life as we know it to exist. Imagine the sun, the very core of our solar system, simply vanishes. What would be the immediate consequences? The first thing we'd notice is that light is gone. Imagine, in the blink of an eye, our world plunges into darkness. The sun, our primary source of light and life, vanishes. The immediate consequences of such an event would be profound and far-reaching. First and foremost, the world would be enveloped in darkness. The sun's radiant glow that once painted the sky with hues of pink and orange would be no more. Daylight would turn into an eternal night. Our time would be marked by the twinkle of distant stars and the silvery glow of the moon, which, by the way, would also fade over time as it relies on the sun's light to shine. In tandem with the darkness, a drastic drop in temperature would follow. The sun's heat, which warms our planet and makes life possible, would cease to exist. Without the sun's energy, the Earth's surface temperature would start to plummet rapidly. Within a day, it would fall to around the freezing point of water. But the effects wouldn't stop there. The absence of the sun would also mean the absence of the sun's gravitational pull. Now, you might think that without the sun's gravity, Earth would go flying off into space. But that's not quite the case. The Earth, like all objects in motion, would continue to travel in a straight line at a constant speed. This is due to a principle known as inertia. So, instead of spiraling off into the cosmos, our planet would embark on a dark and cold journey through the vast expanse of space. All these immediate effects, the darkness, the plummeting temperatures, the change in our planet's motion, would have dire impacts on life as we know it. Within just a few days, most of the surface water on Earth would freeze. Plants would be unable to perform photosynthesis and die off, leading to a collapse in the food chain. In just a week, the average global surface temperature would drop below 0 degree F. Life, as we know it, would be on the brink of extinction. As weeks turn into months, the Earth begins to freeze over. Imagine a world shrouded in perpetual darkness, where temperatures plunge relentlessly. The sun's disappearance would lead to a catastrophic drop in temperatures, turning Earth into a frozen wasteland. Let's delve into the science behind this chilling scenario. The sun is our primary heat source, and without it, Earth's surface temperature would drop to -18 degrees Celsius in just a week. As months pass, this would plummet further to -100 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, the top layers of the vast oceans would freeze, eventually leading to a global ocean freeze. But the long-term consequences of the sun's disappearance extend beyond a frozen Earth. The loss of sunlight would halt the process of photosynthesis, the very process that powers life on Earth. Plants, the primary food source for many species and the oxygen producers of our world, would perish without sunlight. This collapse of the plant kingdom would disrupt the food chain at its most fundamental level. Herbivores would starve, and in turn, the predators that depend on them for sustenance would also face extinction. The ripple effect would be devastating, leading to a mass extinction event. Beneath the frozen surface, in the deep oceans where sunlight doesn't reach even now, certain life forms could survive for a while, living off the heat from Earth's core and the chemical energy from hydrothermal vents. But eventually, this too would come to an end as Earth's internal heat dissipates into space. Apart from the biological implications, the absence of the sun would also affect Earth's atmosphere. The gases in our atmosphere would freeze and fall to the ground. leaving Earth exposed to cosmic radiation and meteor impacts. In essence, the sun isn't just a bright spot in our sky. It's the linchpin of life on Earth. From heat to light to the energy that drives our ecosystems, the sun's role is irreplaceable. Without the sun's warmth, Earth would become a barren, frozen wasteland. Could life survive in this eternal darkness, you may wonder? It's a question that has been pondered by many. After all, life as we know it is intricately tied to sunlight. But hold on to your seats, because it's time to dive into the realm of extremophiles. Now, what's an extremophile, you ask? Well, in simple terms, they are organisms that thrive in conditions inhospitable to most life forms. They live in boiling hot geysers, frozen tundras, deep within the Earth's crust. And yes, even in utter darkness, these organisms have adapted to extreme conditions over billions of years, teaching us that life, indeed, finds a way. Let's take a journey to the deep sea where sunlight has never reached. There, near geothermal vents spewing hot mineral-rich water, you'll find bustling communities of life. These creatures, like the giant tube worm and the yeti crab, don't rely on photosynthesis. Instead, they depend on a process called chemosynthesis, where bacteria convert chemicals from the vent fluids into energy. So, in theory, if the sun were to disappear, life around these vents could continue as if nothing happened. But what about the rest of the ocean? Well, it's hard to say. Most marine life is part of a food chain that starts with photosynthesis. Without sunlight, that chain breaks. However, it's possible that some species might adapt to feed off the life around the vents. On land, the situation would be much bleaker. Without sunlight, plants would die off, and the food chain would collapse. Yet even here, there are examples of organisms that could survive. Certain fungi, for instance, require no sunlight and derive their nutrients from decaying matter. Life, as it turns out, can be incredibly resilient, but the world it would inhabit would be drastically different from the one we know. This journey into hypothetical darkness has shown us that life's tenacity is nothing short of extraordinary. Even in the face of unimaginable adversity, life persists. But it also reminds us of the delicate balance that sustains our world. It's a balance we must strive to understand and protect. What if, against all odds, the sun returned? Let's dive into this hypothetical scenario. The sun, our life-giving star, miraculously appears once again in the void of the universe. Its warm, golden glow begins to seep back into our world, piercing the deep freeze that had claimed the Earth in its absence. As the sun's rays touch the ice-encrusted surface, a grand thawing event would commence. The icy grip that had held the Earth hostage would start to loosen. Glaciers would begin to melt, oceans would start to unfreeze, and rivers would once again flow. The Earth would undergo a transformation, a resurrection of sorts, as it awakens from its icy slumber. The return of the sun would bring warmth back to our world. But it's not just about the physical warmth. It's also about the energy that fuels life. The sun's return would rekindle the process of photosynthesis, the lifeblood of our ecosystems. Plants, if any survived, would once again start to grow, reoxygenating the atmosphere and providing food for the remaining organisms. However, this sudden influx of energy would not be without its own set of challenges. The rapid thawing could lead to catastrophic flooding. The reintroduction of sunlight might cause severe weather phenomena as the atmosphere readjusts to the sun's heat. The surviving life forms, having adapted to the sunless world, might find the sudden transition challenging. The reintroduction of the day-night cycle would disrupt their adapted routines, and while photosynthesis would once again be possible, it would take time for the ecosystems to recover, if they ever could. The sun's return, while a beacon of hope, would be a test of endurance for the remnants of life on Earth. It would be a slow and arduous journey towards recovery, a journey towards a new normal. The return of the sun would bring a new dawn, but the world it would illuminate would be forever changed. So the disappearance of the sun, while a fascinating thought experiment, would be disastrous. We've taken a journey together, haven't we? We've explored the unthinkable, the vanishing of our sun. and the immediate and long-term consequences of such an event. It's been a dark and chilling ride, both literally and metaphorically. We've delved into the possibilities of life in a sunless world, a world plunged into a never-ending night. We've imagined the return of the sun, a moment of rebirth and renewal for our planet. But let's not forget the real takeaway from our exploration. It's not about the darkness. It's about the light. The sun, our sun, is the life-giving force in our world. It's the powerhouse behind our planet's ecosystem, the driving force behind our weather, and the source of all energy on Earth. Next time you feel the warmth of the sun on your face, remember, it's not just a star, it's the star that gives life to our world.